Okay, cool. It's 1,000,000 degrees in here, by the way. It's super hot in LA.
Yeah, I know.
It was in the high 80s today. I don't know why.
It's just like a weird heat wave.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I usually either have the air conditioner on or I have this window open, but then it produces noise.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here.
I had a sweater on for, now that I think about it, no reason. I'm not sure why I even put that on today. I knew it was going to be in the 80s. Why did I bother?
Yeah, no, I'm still bringing my jacket to work for no reason whatsoever. So yeah.
Just habit, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to other stuff.
Okay.
So
upcoming events.
Yes, upcoming events, exactly. Upcoming this weekend, we have Northwest Majors.
Oh, it's this weekend coming up, huh?
Yeah, right?
May 3rd to 4th,
which is definitely this weekend.
Oh,
so.
sick. Okay, yeah. If you're in the area, definitely get a chance to go there.
It's in Kent, Washington.
Yes, because that is going to be the first time that DeCapre is going to be playable in the beta in the betas that we can play there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting.
Dude, we had a little bit of time to mess with her, of course.
Right.
Just short amount of time. I'm really interested to see, based on our short period of time with it, how she looks now. I don't even know if she's going to be different, but I guess I assume.
No, she was even different already in the Japanese stream, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
So she will, I guess, be different in some way at least. But yeah, if you're in the Seattle area, if you're going to be around there somewhere, I definitely recommend going to check it out. I mean, Northwest Majors is a good tournament to attend anyway. It's going to have all of the various
there's going to be some cool exhibitions there too, because I believe that is where Nemo and Apology Man are going to have, Nemo, I should say, and Apology Man are going to have a 1st to 15 or something like that. So that's good. Basically, those are team flowchart, one-touch kill versus each other. And that's going to be really interesting, because it's basically whoever touches each other first is going to win, right? So
wow, so there's going to be some interesting things there. There's also going to be Tokido versus Bakken. Remember, he did really well.
Yes,
Bakken
Cammy player. I hope Bakken's practicing, man.
I would think so.
Tokido has gotten good at fighting Cammy thanks to Sako. In fact, I think he actually likes that fight now. Last time I talked to him, I think he told me that he believes Akuma wins that fight. So,
interesting. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And you're right. There's also going to be a 1st to 7 between Nemo and Apology Man.
Oh, just the 1st to 7 then. Okay.
1st to 7, yeah. And apparently Abigen is also going to show up. So there's going to be some interesting foreign players coming. There's going to be a lot of good North American players there, as you can assume.
And it's also going to be a ranking event for the Capcom Pro Tour, so people will be getting points. Yeah. So going to be some exciting stuff there. Very, very, very cool.
It'll be streamed on the Team Chaos channel, which is twitch.tv/Team Chaos with a K.
Yeah, that is /5150, I believe, who runs that, right? Yeah, so he's definitely a really long time streamer. I mean, he's been streaming from Seattle area forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I hope that DeCapre gets on that stream, like, more than a little bit.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. So at all of the Ultra events so far, they haven't wanted people to take video, of themselves playing, which I assume is going to be the same this time. And as a result, I hope that there's going to be some time with it on stream.
Well, they've always done an Ultra exhibition at pretty much every event. Hopefully they do another Ultra exhibition. And, if Combo Fiend is there, I hope he uses DeCapre and blows a bunch of people up. So
I really want to do. Okay, so just to go on an aside a little bit, I didn't think that she was that great after thinking about her more.
Right.
Because I just wonder about her anti-air, and I wonder about her actual, like, not theoretical max damage, but, like, her normal damage.
Right. Bless you.
It kind of seemed like she was maybe unsafe on a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I mean,
I feel like when she walks forward, she's in a bad place.
Right.
Honestly,
she doesn't have mix-up potential really anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the character is going to turn out. Even though, Combo Fiend blew up.
Well, it's because Ryan didn't have any idea what was going on. Like, he didn't know. No one even told him he was a charge character, right? So you see her walk forward, you're like, oh my god, he's going to do that uppercut move to me all of a sudden.
Yeah, and he didn't jump forward once, expecting Cammy Dragon Punch to come out, right? But,
or even Close Fierce, which she doesn't have.
Right, she doesn't have Close Fierce.
So,
anyway, so that's Northwest Majors.
Yes.
Also, I'm going to Kuwait.
Yes.
Next week. I am going to the actual Middle East for to Kuwait.
This is the event that a bunch of people went to last year.
Justin was there last year.
Out there, and dude, it looked amazing. I remember when Justin went there. And
Kuwait.
Right, and he tweeted out all the photos and stuff like that. Like, it was awesome to see.
Like, I don't even know if I can express, like, how excited I am. I love to travel in general, and when I travel, look, okay, I'm going there for this video game thing, right? And I'm going to do a panel about community, and
Okay,
nice, and there's going to be a tournament and all that stuff, like normal. But, like, come on. I'm not going to, like, go to Kuwait and like, just play some video games and stuff. I'm really looking forward to having, talks with people about, like, politics and society and economics and law, all that.
Dude, I joked with you earlier that you're, like, way more interested in that than the fighting game tournament, right?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Of course. Dude, it's super sick. I'm really excited. I got Rosetta Stone Arabic yesterday. I don't know why. I'm leaving next Tuesday, so I don't know why I thought, like, 1 week I can learn an entire new alphabet.
Wasn't that what they say, right? Rosetta Stone. Good enough.
Maybe if I did nothing but Rosetta Stone for the next week.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do that. The thing about Rosetta Stone is that it just throws you in there.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the letters, so it'll like say a word and then have like the written word on top of it, right? You have to like figure it out. If it's Spanish, it's the same script. Like, I know
the letters.
There's some slight differences, all right, but I know more or less. Yeah, what I don't know crap about Arabic. I do. I mean, I know. Like, there are definitely some similarities that I can see with Hebrew, and I can read Hebrew and write Hebrew. And, I know a little bit about how the language is spoken, so it's not completely foreign, but that said, it looks different. So even though there are, like, the vowels underneath and on top in the same way that Hebrew is, I still have to, like, totally piece together things on Rosetta Stone. I have Mandarin for that, too, and it's the same deal. It just, like, puts up this...
Dude,
here's
Mandarin,
a word.
Yeah, dude, Mandarin, you're done, right? Mandarin, it's like, they've literally rated Chinese the hardest language to learn how to read and write.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think they said to speak was Japanese.
Okay.
Because Japanese has so many, like, tenses and stuff like that. Like,
it's pretty different arrangement of grammar, too.
Yeah, and like, there's like 90 ways to say every sentence. Like, with respectful tone, but with, like, degrading tone, degrading, but yet you're being respectful tone, and like all these crazy. That's what I've heard. Okay. So yeah.
I also tried learning Russian on it, and I got to the point where I like puzzled out all of the letters, or I thought, and then I talked with a Russian girl, and I was like telling her like my findings, I didn't look it up. I just like tried to piece it together. And apparently I was totally wrong on some stuff.
She probably facepalmed, right? There was probably some fail fish.
I legit thought that there was a letter that was like the emphasis letter. Like, do this letter when like you just want to add an emphasis to a word. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, it's not the most efficient language learning thing. For me, writing is really important. I don't know why I'm going such a tangent about this, but the written side is really important, and if I don't know that, then it's tough for me. For sure. Anyway, but that's going to be the weekend after this coming weekend, and I'm just talking about it this week because I'm leaving next Tuesday, and so I'm not going to be here for the Tuesday show next week.
Right.
So I wanted to kind of get this out of the way, and as far as a stream, there was a stream last year. I'm not sure of the situation this year.
Oh, I mean,
I would hope so.
That's why you're there, right? So
I would hope so.
Do commentary. So.
And I'm sure I'll let everybody know all about that stuff and retweet all sorts of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, really cool. I mean, I'll see what I can do about next week Tuesday. I'll see if I can bring on a guest or something like that if I can. So. Yeah,
I mean, the Kuwaiti scene has been around for a long, long time, and they have been international travelers for a long time too.
B3.
Yeah.
B3. I still remember they all came here and. They were blowing everybody up because literally these guys just sat in their home and played Super Turbo all day. And they were blowing everybody up at B3. It was really, really cool.
Yeah. So
Marwan was the main guy from there. And
I remember that name.
They were doing
I didn't go.
They were like trying to do standing 720s with T-Hawk, which was mostly just stand jab into 720. Okay. But back then, like everyone had to jump in to do it before, right? So it was a big deal back then. So,
Rad. I like it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's coming up. Is that it for events coming up? I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, next month there's a lot of events
Lots of
coming up, but we'll get to
I'm sure
that
we'll
as
talk
the
about
time
that.
gets closer. So
Definitely. Other stuff that's going on. Axis Games is bringing Arcana Heart 3 Love Max exclamation points to North America this fall.
Yes. So there you go. More fighting games coming out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. I swear I know nothing about this game. So, you know, if it comes out and people want us to do a show on it.
Yeah. If there's demand for that, happy to do it for sure.
I mean, it's like, usually our guy used to be Shea Plus, James Shea, who would help us with all these different games. But he's in Japan now, so, you know.
Yeah, and, like, we got some flack for crap that Breaker Dave got wrong. Just want to say. Breaker Dave.
Well, no, they were just like, you should have got someone who was, you know, it's your fault that, dude. Come on,
dude. We got, like, one of the best tournament players in the
country. I know,
ever,
right. So yeah.
We can't be perfect, but anyway, if there is demand for that, let us know. Apparently, there's going to be a fall 2014 release date for PS3 and also Vita.
Yeah, some people are saying fly Arturo out. I joked about that earlier. I actually joked about that. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, and then let's talk also about Kickstarters. So start first with Super Arcade Kickstarter. We've been talking about this a lot.
Yeah, it's been funded, and there's only 3 days left to go. However, Mike Watson just put out a post that apparently some people have been retracting their donations. And so, as a result, they've actually been dropping down. Now, they're still $3K over the amount.
Right. They're at $47,412 of a $44,000 goal.
Right. But there is still the possibility that if too many people retract, it'll drop below in the next 3 days and not get funded. So, you know, if anybody out there, if you know anybody who's donated to it and is hitting hard times or whatever like that, obviously if you have financial troubles, I mean, Watson actually said some people actually emailed him and just said, like, I couldn't, like, something happened, and he totally understands with that.
Yeah, sure.
But, you know, if you know people who are just like, you know what, I changed my mind. Like, you know, try to convince them not to do that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 3 days left, man. Let's just hold out for the last 3 days. And on Friday, actually, they're going to do a special last day stream, I believe, and try to get. And you know what? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think Mike has too much to worry about, but knock on wood kind of a thing, because the pattern of most Kickstarters is by the last day it kind of skyrockets because everyone's like, oh, that's right, I wanted to donate.
Okay.
So, you know, that's how I see most Kickstarters. Usually like huge amount right at the beginning, then low, then the last, and then all of a sudden it just like skyrockets. So hopefully that happens again.
Hopefully that happens, yeah. So, I didn't even know that you could cancel your donation.
Yeah, like that seems kind of odd to me. Like, doesn't that kind of break the system?
It seems like it might. Yeah. It seems like it might. Once you know that it's been funded, you can say, okay, well, this is going to happen anyway. I might as well just not be involved.
Right. And dude, can you imagine a bunch of like wealthy people just being jerks? Like, oh, hey, this thing needs $100,000. Here's $100,000. Then right before,
wow, that would really suck.
But it's a good thing there are no jerks in the fighting game community.
Yeah, and there are no rich people who are jerks either. So luckily,
and there's no rich people in the fighting game community.
That's for sure. Yeah. Okay, so but Super Arcade is not the only arcade actually that has a Kickstarter going on. This hasn't been publicized quite as much, but Galloping Ghost Arcade in the Chicago area also has an expansion project going on. Their goal is a little higher, but they have raised way less money, and I'll post the link into the chat right now. Ding! You'll probably I don't know, maybe I'll post it again in 30 seconds when you guys see it. But Galloping Ghost is a major arcade. It's definitely a national and international type arcade, in kind of the same way that Super Arcade is, because a lot of good tournament footage comes out of there. It's not for Street Fighter, or Marvel, like in Super Arcade, but it's for Injustice. Okay, it's a major like hub of Injustice action. A lot of really top players play there. They have streams and upload to YouTube every week. You
have family out in Chicago area,
I do indeed.
Have you been to this arcade before?
No, I never have, actually. I've only, the last several years, it only opened in, I think, 2010.
Oh, really?
Or 2011. Yeah, it's relatively recent.
New, then.
Yeah, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've never been there. Because over the last few years when I've gone, it's been for UFGT, but I show up a couple of days in advance for family, and then once once like family's over, then it's just tournament, and then I can't really go places anyway.
Makes sense.
I'd love to see it, but I just haven't been able to.
Yeah, I mean, one of my greatest regrets is that I've never been able to visit Chinatown Fair, you know, in its fighting game heyday.
Yeah, it's not the same now.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been in the scene for so long, and I never went, and I never got a chance. So you know, definitely we got to keep all these arcades alive.
Yeah, please, and much like Super Arcade, it's definitely a hub for local players, not just for fighting game players. I mean, there's a big whatchamacall, pinball scene.
Oh, dude, that's so sick. Okay.
And so they have a lot of people come there for pinball. They have a lot of good action for that. They'd love to get some PC gaming going, console gaming going, all that stuff. Just make it a hub for video games in the area in general. Chicago is a major city, and this is really the only arcade-type thing left.
It just basically is the Super Arcade of that area. Because here, there's literally nothing left, right?
I mean, it's very similar in that Super Arcade is not... It's not in LA. It's a little bit farther away. It's definitely a community hub. Everybody who cares about the community comes out to Super Arcade pretty regularly, even if you live an hour, a couple hours in some cases away. Same kind of thing for GGA. So please, if you can, if you donated something to Super, especially if you don't live in the area and you donated to Super anyway, same exact kind of thing going on with GGA. So
yeah, again, I said it for Super. Any little bit helps. $1, $10, every little bit added together helps. So if you can donate $1 to, if that's all you can afford, please do.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
Okay.
Like I said, I posted that in the chat, although I'll do it again. And I'll also post the Super Arcade thing in the chat. And when it comes to the YouTube version of this, I'll make sure to post links to both underneath the video as well.
Right. And also another thing too is like, if you guys haven't watched pro pinball players play pinball, dude, don't knock pinball, man. I'm telling. I mean, no one did, but I'm just saying, if you don't think that there is like some sort of crazy skill you can learn in that, there was a tournament. There was a tournament a while ago. And I remember they were streaming it, which was really cool. They had commentators and everything describing how the table works and everything.
That's awesome.
And dude, one guy, like I forgot what it might have been, Whirlwind or something like, or Whirlpool, I think it was, or one of those. Pinball, and he was just like, he could not die. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like you'd see someone else go there, he'd play it, died, like after a good run, and this guy just went up there and was on there forever. It was like the sickest thing. And I like pinball.
I know,
so it was really cool. Yeah,
that is cool. All right, so that's going on, and I think that's it for other news, right? Okay. So in that case, let's take a break. We do want to talk about Ultra Street Fighter 4 because there have been reports about early tiers, about general kind of feelings about the game, and we want to talk about that stuff.
So
we'll do that when we come back.